Okay. Plenty of technical difficulties abound. Can you hear me? So we got to work through this kind of live audience. Work with us. Carly, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Oh, so the mic is working.
Yes.
Oh, so the mic was working last time. No, I'm just trying to figure if it was the connection or if it was the mic and the connection, because this is the first time I'm using this mic. So that's why I'm asking. So if I seem weird, like I'm asking you 1,000 times, because we're introducing a new microphone. So hopefully, guys, this is a much more quality sound broadcast, quality sound. I'm hoping, right? A more steady, stable sound. Right. So hopefully, we're moving on up. So we need to continue support. Please go to patreon.com/Dr. Inky. Sign up, become a Patreon, a patron. Go to $Minister Inky and send in donations of cash via Cash App. Go to drinky.com, order your Blue Moss gel today. Order your Blue Moss, your Blue Magic Moss today. Powder, gel, capsule. Clearly, I need mines this morning. It's been crazy. That's why we're broadcasting over here on Alternative Network. Yeah, so it's a wild one. So we're going to before we actually even get started, we're going to get started before we get started. What do you guys think it is? This is going viral. And so we have to have this conversation. We have to, this is what we do at MDR News. We create conversation. This was a insane conversation starter. People are right now arguing about this right now. People have started arguments on pages and then took the argument off the page into private DM arguments. Like,
what do you do if you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And
that you're lost.
Yeah.
If
what do you do if you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And that I lost.
That you're lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I find my home.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to tell you there's a bunch of white people really upset about that video? Stitching it, duetting it in the comments. Oh, this is racist. Actually, if you want to be real about it, statistically, based on the data, any child would be safer approaching a strange black man than they would a strange white man. So let's look at some numbers. Convictions of possessing images of children. White people, 86%, while black make up only 4%. I'd say white people damn near cornered the market. And when you talk about assault of a child, the numbers are a little bit different, but white people still excel. 42% are white, 18% are black. But I feel these numbers might be skewed. For example, Hispanic make up 10% of the abuse. They also make up 10% of the possession of images. So those seem to be pretty close to each other, while these other numbers are way off. Now factor in that black people are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a serious crime, including that kind of assault, than white people are. Then think about all of the priests at the Catholic Church hid and protected and moved around. All of the pastors that we've recently found out the Southern Baptists were protecting. Think about all of the well-respected white teachers and coaches and scout leaders over the years where people just didn't believe the children, didn't believe that that good man was capable of that. And it's not hard to imagine that these numbers should probably be closer to those. And as long as we're talking fun facts, let's look at this one. They looked at SA convictions from 2006 to 2017, and you know what they found? There was a 1,330.47% increase in sentences of Black individuals and a 8.6 decrease in sentences for white individuals. So white people far more likely to do it, also more likely to receive a lenient sentence for it. So while I'm real sorry if that first video triggered you, statistically speaking, that mom is right. And maybe you should teach your children to do the same thing.
What do you do if you get lost?
That's a game changer. That's a game changer. Now, how do you justify your same energy you have for Ye's White Lives Matter shirt? How is it appropriate for this white guy to put this video together, and it's not appropriate for Ye to put together White Lives Matter? Like, no, we got to think, righteousness is just righteousness. Right is just right. Wrong is just wrong. You got to think, back when there was an underground railroad, as much as we champion Harriet Tubman, you do got to realize that it was white folks' houses she was staying in, hiding in. So it's always been about teamwork, you know what I'm saying, period. One way or another. It's always going to come down to mutual respect, learning, exposure, socialization. Socialization, a word that is used 1 million billion trillion times a day in the dog world. Oh, you got to socialize your dogs. You got to socialize your dog. You got to socialize your dog. How is there not an emphasis on socializing our children? And socializing is way different than diversity training. So we're going to put that on the record immediately. We're not talking about diversity training. Socializing is being around, absorbing the same culture and, being in the air, smelling the nasty food, the delicious food, the sweet food, the spice, being there, seeing the drunk uncle maybe, like being there. Now, I do want to add this caveat. It's cool. It's cool for that little girl's mom to train her to find a Black man if she's lost, because statistically speaking, a Black man is less likely to violate her. However, I don't think those would be the same statistics if they took that poll in the conscious woke community. So I would just change that a little bit and say, go ahead and find you a Black man that's not conscious. More from MDR News when we return.
Lead you to believe. So sugar, have you ever thought about what makes sugar so dangerous in your blood? Sugar dissolves, but its bonds don't really break like the term dissolves would lead you to believe. So sugar is able to stay in a solid form while in a liquid form and then coagulate on the pigments and fats throughout the body. The same pigments like neuromelanin and fats like omega-3s that your body requires. This is what puts children at higher risk. Have you ever thought about what a natural and national disaster not having breast milk for babies really is? Music is God.
Always cooked, never raw. Whether it's Irish moss or sea moss, whether it's from the north, whether it's from the south, whether it's from the Caribbean, you do not get the main nutrition from raw moss. Number one. Number two, raw moss can be very dangerous and damaging to your gastrointestinal tract. Number three, the amount of consumed raw algae is way too high for the human digestive system to have it raw. Number four, high quality standards when getting the actual moss. Many people suggest soaking the moss for hours and hours and hours, even overnight, then throwing the water away and then washing it again, not realizing that you lose 99% of the iodine and the rest of the minerals when you do that. Please only get Blue Magic gel or Blue Magic powder. For the 1,000th time, people, just because it's purple does not mean it's Chondrus crispus. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just because it's purple does not mean it's Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't mean that it has the same nutrients as Chondrus crispus. I need y'all to understand that. That's why I'm showing you Chondrus crispus versus these other purple mosses that they're gathering from the Caribbean. They don't even come from the cold water climate regions that Chondrus grows in. Okay, these are not Chondrus crispus. They are not Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't matter who tries to sell you these. Whoever is trying to sell you these is trying to make a fast buck. These are not Dr. Sebi approved, and they are not Chondrus crispus. High in arginine, and it may cause herpes outbreaks. Yes, it may cause herpes outbreaks, although it is highly recommended by Dr. Ali Muhammad as being more nutritious than Chondrus crispus. I want to bring your attention to the left-hand side where you can look at Gracilaria up close and personal, and then look right there in the center of your screen where you can see Chondrus crispus. Completely different color, completely different structure. The entire framework of the algae is completely different, yet this Gracilaria is passed off as Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus 100 times a day. Help this scam come to an end by supporting Blue Magic gel and Blue Magic powder, the only true Chondrus crispus based sea moss compounds on the market. Let's run this back and do this again. I want to show you one of my old favorites, Eucoma cottoni. The cottoni is probably the most popular, along with Guso, but Guso is not really named. Guso is usually sold as cottoni, but these are probably two of the most popular sea mosses that are never, ever even named when they're sold. They're just sold as fraudulent Dr. Sebi approved Irish moss or Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus, and that's fake. Okay, so you can look right there. Again, you see another variety of yellow algae, which means it's been oxidized so that all of the nutrients are gone. And you see the Chondrus crispus there in the front. Seeing is believing. Only support Blue Magic gel and powder. Thank you.
You can easily just click on the drop-down menu there, hit courses, then my courses, then the real you, and you should be off and running. We cannot wait. We cannot wait to get your feedback. And if you enjoy the course, please feel free to go ahead and send us a Cash App at $Ministry, or if you have a larger amount of money you want to donate, feel free to go ahead and contact us via email melanin versusdiabetes@gmail.com, and we can accept that larger, size donation via the nonprofit organization. Again, we can't wait for your feedback. And then also, if you enjoy the course, there's going to be a much more interactive course coming called American Healer, the diabetes course, and then following that, the Living Biochemistry course, which is a collegiate level 69-week course. Those are going to be more extensive. And to do those courses, you'll actually have to be a member of Patreon. However, to do the first 3 public courses to build up the foundation. Like, we took a poll, it took time, we took a couple of years to poll the public and see what it was that the public, like the basic things that the public wanted to know, wanted more information on. What did families need, so we put those things together, just very simple but informative, to provide a foundation. We think we did a very good job of providing people a foundation to build from. So hopefully this gave you a good tutorial. If not, probably have to, this is the beta edition tutorial, so I may have to improve on this as well. But peace, thank you for your interest, thank you for your trust, and I wish you love, and I wish you life. All right, peace. So quickly, just find the only thing that probably will be confusing is that you might try to log in on a phone or a tablet. We don't have that tech yet, so it doesn't work on phones and tablets. You gotta be on a desktop or a laptop.
Live in a hater nation. Everybody want to hate. This brother's trying to do something different and be great at it. Why the fuck are we sitting there waiting for him to fail? Live in a hate.
Blue Magic, red dog.
I'm about to hit the gym. I need buzz this time. Last time it was, hold up, that's my jam. I'm about to turn this up now. I need the walls to, this the Grammy winner, nominate the $, Minister Inky. Send me some. Piano is the heart of instruments, airstring percussion, no coincidence. We hear with our mind, not with our ears. That's why here is to hear. We affect our peers deeper than chakras. Phantom of the opera, the freak accident that made the gun you was loaded start popping your sarcophagus, your flow hustle 360.
Team Harmine is the group of compounds that we have designed around one of the main alkaloid compounds in plants, Harmine. DIRK1A has been discovered to be the chemical component that blocks the pancreas from regeneration in severe diabetes. Harmine and its associated metabolites are able to block DIRK1, enabling the pancreas to regenerate itself. Team Harmine is the first ever herbal, organic, raw, nutritional-based compound representing the melanin diabetes research of its kind in the world, leading a worldwide revolution in the ending of the threat of diabetes. Team Harmine represents change, true revolution, true sovereignty to the only real estate that will ever matter, the flesh that clothes your spirit. Fight diabetes with Dr. Inky's advanced research. Team Harmine, land, sea, and tree. Genius lives matter. Follow the American Healer YouTube page. Music is God.
Studies show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads,
soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Atomics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com. And don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God.
Dr. Inky, American Healer, Intelligent, Diabetes, Research News, coming to you live from anywhere, everywhere, anytime, all the time, because any minute could be a New York minute. And in a New York minute, your whole life can change. We need to talk about the things that's most important to us. We need to talk about the life changing, the paradigm shit ending, the trend creating. We need to talk about the revolution. And we need a space where we can say what we want to say, how we want to say, when we want to say, without apologizing for what's been said. Period. This is our time. We're coming back to our pack space in real time.
Okay. Peace to the family out there. Peace to the family out there. We had to get into news is news, you know, current events is current events. So things kind of happen as your day unfolds, and you gotta kind of adjust. So things have been happening. It's been, you know, my day starts sometimes around like 3:30, between 3 and 4, my day starts sometimes. Today was one of those days, and it's been. That's gonna give me. Excuse me. See what I'm saying? Technical difficulties, man, trying to get to some improvements and some things. So anyway, we're introducing a new mic to the family. Hopefully this gives us some better sound quality. I'm going over some notes that I had prepared for the show, but like I was saying, things happen and you got to adjust on the fly. Farrakhan, right? So we've got it now, you know, like Farrakhan just decimated our programming today. We had a show lined up already, then out of nowhere, Farrakhan drops some people have already said, I'm gonna tell you, because I listened to it with a large group of people this morning. I think I listened to the first listen to it. It's playing like 4 or 5 times today. I think I heard the very first one, and I listened with a large group of people. And some people are already saying that it sounds like he is faking. You know, it sounds like it's a book promo. It sounds like he's trying to sell books. Farrakhan is saying that. It sounds like. I'm gonna be honest, and this is not the segment. We're gonna talk about it later on. Just telling you now what we got coming up. But I'll be honest. I'm usually a NOI antagonist, right? I'm usually an NOI antagonist, but I was inspired. I thought that he, you know, for the most part, I didn't, you know, it's Farrakhan. But I thought it was powerful. I thought it was I want to say must-see TV. Right? I think if you're following the conversation, let's say that. If you're following the Ye conversation, the Kyrie conversation, the anti-Semitic conversation, the Hebrew Israelite Bible, Hebrews to Negroes. Like if you're following the conversation, this is a part of the conversation. So anyway, that's a part of today's show. Like I said, I'm looking through some notes here. Looking through some notes here because I had to rearrange. You know, we still had some chakra news to cover. We still didn't really talk about orgasm and those things. So we still kind of got some of those sexual health conversations on the plate. We may need to just get this chicken thing out of the way because I know people are chicken thing. I told you guys, 97% of the chicken, and this is, you know, what's funny is that the fast turnaround, because this was just MDR news maybe last week. Just a few broadcasts ago, I just told you guys 97%. Maybe what I just finished saying, 97% of the chicken out there is infected. People like, oh, you know, you always trying to slip a vegan, you know. Like I said, I wake up today, boom, I get the alert. 6 states. I think there's 2 people dead already from, but not just chicken. It's processed meat is infected right now in 6 states. New York is one of them. New York, Jersey, Maryland. So this is not like a distant, you know, for the people in the Northeast coast, this is hitting home, bang, bang, bang. But there's 6 states and they range from New York to Cali, but they're coupled. There's, you know, like that whole little Northeast corner right there is congested. Maryland, Jersey, New York. Let's pull up the article. Let's actually check this out. This is important. See, can we get a web page? Maybe again.
I won't do that. I won't do that. I'll do the form.
Okay, 3 people became sick in Maryland and 1 died. 7 people were reported ill in New York, 2 people in Illinois, 2 in Massachusetts, 1 in New Jersey, and 1 in California. All right, deli meat and cheese. So this is brand new. This is happening right now, right? So obviously the culture in New York, I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. I can't lie. I love it. Like, I love it, love it. Like, I look forward to doing that when I go to New York, going to get me some dirty street meat. Like, that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I can only get but so ratchet, you know, but I do go find, now check this out. I go find the cleanest. How does the word cleanest come in to describe the dirtiest? Getting dirty, right? But I do go find the cleanest because I know a few spots, you know what I'm saying? Year to year, sometimes they change, but a lot of times these street vendors be out there for years, or they'll pass the spot to one of their brothers or nephews or somebody else. But I know a few locations where they have a real high level of, you know, high standards for what they're doing on the street. And I do like to go get me a falafel, I try to go to spots, like I said, some of them places, the falafel might as well be the beef and the chicken and the lamb and all the other stuff because they're just mixing it all up on the grill. But there are places that do keep a really clean grill, and but I do look forward to that. Like, that's a thing. And so my point in saying all that is that is a part of the fabric of New York. Like, people look forward to their street meat. You know what I'm saying? People look forward to they corner store, going to the corner store, back store, bodega, and getting food from there, like food. You go to the bodega or the corner store, if you don't got a Spanish restaurant right close by or something like that where you could grab some rice and some beans, it's a Chinese restaurant right there, something. Or you got the Arabs, like I said, in the corner store. You go in there, you get your hot sandwich with your deli meat and cheese chopped up and cooked with your onions and this and that seasoned up. Or they do the eggs with the meats chopped up. Like, all that's infected right now. All that's infected right now. So again, we laugh and we joke, but we don't play. MDR news, we really this is really news. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. We are definitely doing our part to get the word out. That's why when technical difficulties happen, we got to backflip, side, tuck. Like, we got to do what has to be done so that we can, keep this thing going. And we really want to I want to thank everybody for their support. Like today we're introducing a better quality microphone, right? And so far so good. It looks like the microphone is really like way better. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy Architect. He's always like behind the scenes cussing me out for not improving the quality, but then I got to get the support from you guys so I could anyway, right? Humming and bumming. But that's a story. Like, that's an important thing that we really needed to discuss, because I'm not sure how far this is going to go. I'm just going to be honest. This is like right now. Let me see. Yeah, look. 8 minutes ago, they reported this. 6 hours ago, they reported this. 2 hours ago, they reported this. This is brand new. 15 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 4 hours ago. So this is breaking news overnight. All right. The CDC 17 hours ago. So this hasn't made one day yet in terms of the news cycle. And most of us that even pay attention loosely to the news, we're not watching this news. You know what I'm saying? We're not watching. So and this is the things we need to know, because we might think that we informed, right? As we on our Instagram, as we in Clubhouse, and we finding out what conspiracy theory links, Kyrie to whatever, like we hip to that as we on the way to go get our bagel with cream cheese and this thing, or as we going and get our, hot meat sandwich or this, that, or whatever, bacon, this, and then we're not paying attention to the things we put in our body. We're not paying attention to what we eat. Again, we don't pay anybody any money to research this for us, to keep us informed. We're not putting up the bread so that we have somebody researching for us, bringing the info back like, yo, hey, it's cool. Listen, we not beefing right now. It's over. The beef is down, right? We white flagging it right now. It's neutral. The beef is, we pull it, truce. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. We're pulling a truce right now. The meat eaters and the vegans, we got to stick together for a minute. Hold on. There's infected food out there. There's infected food out there. Meat and cheese is infected right now in 6 states. Well, what does that mean for the vegans? Because the vegans could say, oh, well, I told you to stop eating. But what happens at the bars where everybody is at doing their food bars right now? The open bars of food with the meat and the cheese and the salad, and it's all getting, because that one person coming you might be that one person to use the same clips on this thing and on that. You done grab the meat, put it on your plate, then just grab some vegetables all with the same spatula and then put it back in the meat. Now I come behind you, I don't even want no meat. I put all veggies, but you done dripped the meat juice on all the veggies. So it's not long before somebody gets some reaction from a salad that had no meat or cheese at all, right? So this is not a thing and most of us, we live in mixed families, it's not religious, you know what I'm saying, where vegans are vegan, meat eaters, no. People at home right now arguing every day, you know what I'm saying? The wife trying to get the husband to go vegan or vice versa. The husband trying to get the wife. She I ain't giving up my shrimps and my crab cakes, or, I don't know, but you get the point. So households are divided, you know what I'm saying? So we don't want to be taking this as some old weird pseudo victory lap when people are actually dying. This is a real thing to actually take serious. Everything that starts off large starts off small with small numbers. 10 people infected, 1 person dead, boom, boom, boom. What we do next determines whether that 10 becomes 100, then 1,000, or whether it just stays at that number, right? Just spread the word, spread the conversation. That's what we're here to do at MDR News. And we want to thank the patrons and the people sending in Cash App supporting so that we can, if just 5 or 10 people hear this and tell 5 or 10 others, that's 50 people. That 50 people, that becomes 500. Just by the afternoon, it's 5,000 just from spreading word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the meat is infected. Hold on. Don't do that for breakfast. Wait a minute. Don't get that for lunch. You might want to do something different today. Or today is a good day to just get spiritual. Just get spiritual and fast for the day. I'm just saying, today might be a good day to go ahead and just get you a little more
Studies
spiritual.
show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children, to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Tonics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com, and don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God. About the red, the brown, and the green with the key. Listen, really quick. Algae edible, nutritious algae comes in 3 major categories: red, brown, and green. Yellow is death. Yellow is oxidation. Yellow is not a natural color of nutritious, food grade, food quality moss. Oxidation, very similar to boiling the algae, pulls the nutrients out. That's why it turns yellow. You don't want yellow moss. You want vibrant browns, greens, blues. Yes, the blues are in the green category. Now, when you have that red, raw gold, yellow, rope PP moss, please do not confuse the price or quality with Blue Magic. The highest quality moss on earth. Conscious caviar.
Just Louise, Louise, yeah.
Indianapolis. I'm a doctor. So what's going on here?
So this is Alan, 73, came in with chest pains, and he's now collapsed.
Okay. Sorry, could you say that again? This is Alan.
It's Alan.
Hello, Alan.
Yeah,
Okay.
not responding. 73.
Oh, okay, 73.
Yeah, chest pains.
Chest pains.
He's now collapsed.
Okay. Okay. Have we confirmed the gender of Alan? Alan is male. Okay.
Why not give Mother Nature and God the opportunity to restore your health? We start with our own real Chondrous crispers to create blue magic powder as well as the blue magic gel. It's not possible that the capsules and powders that you are buying are even close. Seeing is believing. Things in science have changed over time, but one thing that has stayed the same is the fact that form denotes function. And the reason that form denotes function is because form determines the pathway energy will take through a given object. And over from the most ancient time till now, we see the triangle. We see the triangle as the basic structure of energy, the basic structure to build on, the basic structure of life. And when we look at how water naturally forms, it's no coincidence that it has that same structure, and that structure then is built into the framework of the hexagons that we know of as living cellular water. Music is God.
Okay. All right. We back. Listen. We're definitely going to mention Kyrie coming out the closet. So that is definitely a whole segment. Kyrie Irving coming out the closet is definitely a whole segment. We got that coming up still, along with Farrakhan's segment as well. But right now, we need to take your attention to something that blew me away. Something that blew me away. Remember, many of you still haven't fully caught up, right? Join the patreon.com/Dr. Inky, DRENQI, join. Watch and study the 48-hour, it's insane, the wealth of information there, right? One of the things, though, we talk about is the progression of diabetes. We talk about how diabetes originally, they were the early identification of two forms, children, adults. And, children's was insulin dependent, adults was not insulin dependent. Over time, that understanding has grown to now more than 10 different types of forms of diabetes, right? SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Scariest thing on earth. Sudden infant death syndrome is now sudden adult death syndrome. We got to talk about it. This is what MDR News is for. This is why you support MDR News. We need to know, what is sudden adult death syndrome? And I need to know what it is that I can do to prevent it from happening to me. What is it that I can do to prevent it from happening to me? And then, of course, by extension, my loved ones. Very important conversation. So we're going to start and work our way into, maybe a series, maybe a few conversations. But just for right now, We just needed to have, I was like, what do you mean sudden adult death syndrome? Like, because I'm aware intimately in ways only most people that are intimately, obviously associated with type 1 diabetics or diabetes are, that you do have people that die overnight in their sleep from this sleep death in type 1 diabetics. Like, that's a very serious, real daily threat for them. Any type 1 diabetic can just not wake up. Every single day they go to sleep. It's real for them. Right. But this is not that. So I don't want you guys, I'm saying this, I don't want you to be confused and think, oh, he's talking about diabetics, they go to sleep, their sugar drop. Like, no, this is not that. Sudden adult death syndrome. Could you imagine? I'm looking at this like, yo, this can't be real. It's crazy enough to think that a brand new life that you could have just brung into the world, not could have, a brand new life you just brung into the world, or introduced to your family, maybe you adopt, whatever. But this brand new life is gone before, sudden infant death syndrome. But now to think that even amongst all of the bacterial infections we got to deal with, the viral, the viral insanity going on right now, the cancers, the flus, the this one, the that one, the animal, all of the stuff that we know can kill us. Now there's a thing that even when chilling, like right now, you in the crib like me, this, my computer's over here. When I look away, my computer. So you could be at the crib chilling right now. You watching MDR News with Dr. Inky. No, come on, bro. I said, man, this can't be life. This cannot be life. So I know that if this is something that I know if it's something that's causing me to take a second look, I know that people are under aware of this. We'll put it that way. We'll say under aware. Right? So let's check this out. Let's put this in our back pocket. Let's add this to our daily conversations. It's cool, take off Aaron Carter, Westbrook, LeBron, Kyrie, yay. Let's also make sure we take care of ourselves, our families, right? Let's not wait until, because I can't come out. Listen, let me put the camera back on me, because I know somebody going to be a fool and say, I know somebody going to be a fool and say, Doc, I know you got the herbs for this. There's no herbs for death. See, once you're dead, at least none that I know of. Okay, once you're dead, so far, once you're dead, it's up to it's up to God to bring you back at that point. I don't know about a herb that, because you would kind of need to consume the herb. So this would be something you would have to like put on a person's body and bring them back after they're dead. Not saying it's not possible, just saying I do not know about that yet. I have yet to come across that type of information, right? So as much as I know, there's no herb for that. Okay, so there's no herb for death. Once you click check out, we want to try to find it. Now, we definitely got some prevention. We got to, that's why we're here. That's why we're having this conversation, or hopefully creating this conversation. Sudden adult death syndrome, also known as SADS, occurs when a person under the age of 40 years old suffers a sudden death without a known cause after an autopsy or toxicology screen, SADs causes a cardiac arrest when the heart rapidly starts pumping and the body loses heart function, breathing, and consciousness. When the heart rapidly stops pumping. I don't know. I want to assume that was starts pumping. A typo, maybe. SADS is often referred to as sudden arrhythmic death syndrome. It is also known as sudden death syndrome, though the events themselves are not always the same. Most of the time, SADS occurs when the heart develops an abnormal rhythm, otherwise known as arrhythmia. This can usually cause the heart to beat at an irregular rhythm that is too fast or too slow. If the arrhythmia is not diagnosed and untreated, it can lead to cardiac arrest. Most scientists think SADS is caused by a heart condition that interferes with the heart's electrical system. SADS is not the same as a heart attack, also called myocardial infarction, as it is not caused by a blockage, but an arrhythmia. Music is God, right? Sudden and unexpected deaths during sleep of young adults were first noted in medical literature in 1917. However, it is extremely likely this event has been happening in adults for centuries. The biggest risk factor for SADs or SADS are previous heart attack or coronary heart disease, given 75%, 80% of SADS cases are linked with these conditions, respectively. Now, clearly, you know, this is where we obviously come into the conversation because the number one cause of these issues is diabetes, right? So you already know, if you was confused, where we at, right? Anyway, other potential risk factors include heart issues, including ejection fraction of less than 40%, combined with ventricular tachycardia, prior cardiac arrest, abnormal heart rhythms, Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, fainting episode with no known cause, fainting episode with no known cause. So sudden death is linked with fainting with no known cause. That's crazy. Extremely fast or low heart rates, heart blocks, former or current congenital heart failure, cardiomyopathy, changes in potassium and magnesium in the blood. So when I put out the article, when we did the marathon, and I talked about potassium, which is the new compound, and blah blah blah. It's a part of the kit. It's not by itself on the website. But when I talked about, obviously, it has other uses. So you see here, right? Just changes in potassium and magnesium alone, obviously, can cause sudden death. Like this literally can't be like underemphasized. Like thickened heart muscles, ventricular tachycardia, fibrillation after a heart attack, family history, genetics, obesity, diabetes, use of drugs, bang. And we right there, all that right there for Black folks and Spanish folks, all that's all you right there. Genetics, obesity, diabetes, use of drugs. Now, let me throw one on there that's not on there, but belong on there. Alcoholism. If you got alcoholism in the family, or in yourself, that's in there. Because remember, alcohol is sugar. Right? This is what I'm saying. Again, people, you gotta support, man. We just don't have this kind of news around that we need, like the real, like, bruh. I get it.
Have you ever thought about what makes sugar so dangerous in your blood? Sugar dissolves, but its bonds don't really break like the term dissolve would lead you to believe. So sugar is able to stay in a solid form while in a liquid form and then coagulate on the pigments and fats throughout the body. The same pigments like neuromelanin and fats like omega-3s that your body requires. This is what puts children at higher risk. Have you ever thought about what a natural and national disaster not having breast milk for babies really is? Music is God.
Okay. So the craziest part about this whole Alzheimer's thing, type 3 diabetes, oh yeah, Alzheimer's is diabetes in case you didn't know, but the craziest thing about this whole Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes thing is, it's about sugar attacking the pigmented cells of the brain, literally stealing your soul. I kid you not, I can't make this up. I promise you, truth is stranger than fiction. Listen. So it literally steals your soul by crippling these melanin-containing brain cells. But check this out. It attacks you in your 20s. So while you running around, you at the party, you chilling, you on the block, you everywhere, you think you good, you already got Alzheimer's. It's just that it takes 30 years sometimes to develop. So while you got Alzheimer's in your 20s, it doesn't show up until you're 50 or 60 years old. Join us this Thanksgiving for a very, very powerful discussion. Life-changing information that you have never, ever, ever heard before. This is going to be a very powerful, powerful family transformational conversation this Thanksgiving on Patreon, patreon.com/DRENQI, patreon.com/Dr. Inky. This is a patreon.com/Dr. Inky exclusive. A sound immune system. A sound immune system. We show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Atomics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Atomics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Atomics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com, and don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God. All right. So, you know, our philosophy, we want to make sure that we create conversations, but we also want to discuss, you know, we want to have solutions. We want to discuss. So today, what I want to do, and I want to thank the family out there watching live for this real-time idea, but speak some towards the diabetes and towards, you know, what it is that we, you know, what do we do? Like, what do we do for the people? I appreciate that. Like I said, sometimes what could come off as sounding like, hey, could actually just be a request for accountability, or just, you know, what, you know, are we milking trauma, or are we a part of the solution? Like, you know, sometimes people just want to know. So, and it's a great question because it's actually a part of me being silenced, a part of my persecution. Like, yay. like Kyrie, like they want me to turn all kind of tricks to get back in the good graces of the platform gods, you know, because I'm telling the truth, especially about the CMOS. Y'all done seen people shut down, you know, like when I started talking that CMOS talk, platforms all of a sudden have technical difficulties. Inky, what happened? Oh, the live, yeah, some, huh? They want to silence me about this thing here. So I want to tell you about this, especially with sudden adult death syndrome going on, like, but then also give you the backdrop to the story, which is why, like, one of the reasons why we are cutting edge ahead of the time, you know, with what it is that we're doing, you know, changing, you know, not just lives anymore, but changing paradigms. You know, we started in New York in Peekskill with the resolution. Shout out to City Councilman Rob, you know, shout out to the mayor of Peekskill, right? Like these are, you know, impactful, you know, we have dramatically changed the way diabetic care is now even like plotted. So we're starting to get change now because a lot of doctors and nurses watch and follow what I do and what I say. So and there, you know, we got doctors and nurses that are in the biochemistry course. Shout out to everybody. And remember, inside the intro and the outro of MDR News now, I think we started yesterday. I know yesterday and today we have the tutorial for how to join the biochemistry course in case you're not already logged in. So if you're not already in the free online biochemistry school, sponsored by obviously our patrons, MDR Research Inc., et cetera, et cetera. But if you're not already in there, get in there because it won't be free forever. Get in there now, right? But we want to talk about what we did because this was groundbreaking, right? And it was single fatherhood, right? Like one of the parents of invention, you know what I'm saying, is problems. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have the problem to get super creative. And for single parents, it's always a budget issue. Like me raising my little ones, 5 little ones. You guys, if you've sent me, let me tell you like this. If you sent me one Patreon in the last 5 years, you did more for my children than they mom, I'm just saying, they family, like this, and this is not like shots at, but this is just real talk. Like it's just me and you guys at home, you know what I'm saying? So we really appreciate when, you know, the Cash Apps, the purchase on the website, the Patreon subscribers, like this is a serious thing. So budget is a real thing for all parents, you know what I'm saying? So when the pandemic hit, it wasn't just about price gouging. It wasn't about, oh, this is it. Everyone's gotta buy now. Let's go. $50 a bottle, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh. Then spots is running out of herbs. Then people's hitting me up, which is a no-no for other people herbs. Like, yo, doc, yo, listen, man, I know you know, you got the Sebi, you got this, you got that. I'm like, then I'm going around looking for prices. I'm like, ooh. I spoke to Mama Pill at the beginning of the pandemic, and she was like, yo, the price gouging is at every level. Because even herbalists, you couldn't even tell whether it was price gouging or whether it was the response to being gouged. Because if your wholesale prices go up, obviously your retail is going to go up, depending on what kind of reserves you got. My reserves kept us through. So I was able to keep all my prices the same. I didn't price gouge or do anything, you know. In fact, right now we're doing free consultations via text message, 586-298-5000. So it's constantly about giving back, but again, we had reserves, but understanding that budget crunch, especially for the single parents out there, blue magic. And let me show you guys what I mean by blue magic. So I want to give you guys an idea of the what's really going on out here and the value. I want you guys to understand the value of what you're getting and the conscious caveat. This is very different and unique from some other products that may be out there on the market. Hope you guys are really enjoying the mic. Once again, I want to thank the Patreons and supporters for helping us to be able to upgrade our production. Again, it's all about being able to get this information to you guys at a high level, clear and crisp. Okay, let's just start off with low-hanging fruit. Okay. $30 a pound, $45 a pound. Okay. These are, we're just gonna go through some of the more popular Dr. Sebi herbs. We're not gonna hit every single one. We're just gonna go through some of the more popular ones. Right? Because I want to show you what the value is. So just write that down so far. And we're just taking the number. These are small thing here. So this ain't, but the average between 30 and 44 was about $37, $35, right? So let's go check out, let's type in this and let's do shopping. Okay, so blue vervain at Swanson Health for $3. I don't know if I would, I don't know what that is. I don't know if I probably wouldn't purchase this. But you see here a pound of blue vervain is anywhere from $33, 30, 35. So that's the market for blue vervain, a pound, right? Around that same number, $35, right? So now these are some of the more popular ones, right? Right, chaparral. Chaparral is relatively inexpensive. Yeah, chaparral is relatively inexpensive. But that grows here. So we're not even going to have the conversation about the dandelion and in fact, I was just about to pull up dandelion. See these ones here. In fact, maybe since we here, maybe, yeah, let's look at dandelion. These ones here are relatively inexpensive, or they should be because, right? They should be because you can pull them out of your front yard and backyard if you're in the States, right? So you see dandelion, relatively inexpensive, right? But then you have some that are a little more different. Some are harder to find, but they're inexpensive. And some are, see, now this is going to be expensive, right? Because there's no sources. The only source is this one source, $20 for the capsules. Oh, that's not even the capsules. Oh, wow. So there's no herbal, there's no contribo. It's just Etsy. Okay, so Etsy has some contribo. What is this? $10 for how much? Select or weight. 1 ounce is $10. Wow. 1 pound is $160. Okay. See, I'm doing this on the fly with y'all. Like, I don't have nothing to hide or get slick about. Like, I'm showing y'all this is real. And we just went through 4 or 5 herbs, right? The first few, they was at $35 a piece on average. Then we had a few $15, $20 a pound on average. Now we hear contribo. Contribo is $160 a pound. And that's if you're comfortable buying on Etsy. And if you don't buy on Etsy, you can't buy it anywhere else because it's nowhere else. Are you starting to understand the philosophy, what happened? Are you starting to understand what happens when I take 27 of these herbs that people either can't find or can't afford? When I take 27 of these herbs and I put them together with the most powerful seaweeds that people can't get to, because these are not Caribbean seaweeds, these are Irish mosses, right? These are your chondrus crispus, your kelps, your bladderwracks, and create a gel from that. Do you know what everybody else in the health business, you got to understand this. When I take all these different hard to find expensive herbs and put them all together in Blue Magic and make Blue Magic $50, you know, on sale, $40 or something, whatever. They all super sick. They like, no, we're not going to help you promote yourself, your brands, nothing, Dr. Inky. We're not even going to help the people get this product or this information. We're going to block you out. Why would we help you sell a product to these people, even though it's going to heal them, but it's going to knock everybody else products out of everybody whole product lines, bro? Like, why would somebody come spend $800 at my website, just get all these herbs when they could get your Blue Magic for, you know, one price and they got it? This is what you got to understand. The truth is, melanin is actually killing more people than it's saving, because what John Q, I have melanin, I am a melanated person, doesn't know is that their melanin has been weaponized a long time ago against them, and is actually at the root of them having quote unquote dominant genes while maintaining a shorter lifespan. So what I was able to document in the article and the documentary is how melanin, yes, melanocytes more especially, are at the heart of the matter when it comes to our health and wellness. Music is God. No, melanin does not perform photosynthesis. Melanin is photovoltaic. This is the premise of how I was able to restore Amber's neck and spinal injuries. This is the whole premise based on what we're doing here. Melanin is the perfect accompaniment to the skeletal system, which is piezoelectric. This is how crystals and pigment function together to couple light and sound and electricity and magnetism into life.
That processed sugar and animal milk prep the brain for cocaine and heroin addiction. Did you know that sugar is more addictive than cocaine? Did you know that the queso morphine in milk, yes, you heard me, the queso morphine in milk, the queso morphine in milk can have an effect just like morphine on your babies. Saturated fat. Elijah Muhammad told us a long time ago. Use the substitutes. Use the substitutes for milk in his book, How to Eat to Live. Black people, twice as likely to have diabetes than non-Hispanic whites, and somebody dies every 17 seconds. Now think about the addictive nature of being pre-exposed to these compounds and chemicals at an early age, and then rethink the opioid crisis. Music is God. With the Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Inky. This is the type of information that we went over in depth in our 48-hour marathon that the brothers and sisters are still decoding now. Why is it that sodium has such a strong effect on our appetite? Why does insulin have the ability to regulate the body's sodium and water levels? So with your support, we can do more of this research. Support melanin diabetes research. We are uncovering the keys that you need to change your life and your family's life, and providing facts and new formulations all the time. This is potassium, the new compound to totally revolutionize your sodium level management, as well as your energy production and your ATP recycling. Music is God.
All right. We're back. We right back to work. I mean, I want y'all to see this so y'all get an idea of some of these different herbs. And remember, I'm telling you, 27 of these. What's 27? 27 times 35. 27 times $35 each is $945. But I just showed you that there's herbs that's $160. Thank you. $160 a pound. $160 a pound, right? And like I said, some of them that's not hard to find. Or some of them that are not expensive are still hard to find. You know, it's very hard to find a good quality lily of the valley. Yeah, see, this is one of those. Inexpensive. 4 ounces. So this is, well, it's not that bad. It's $40 a pound, right? It's $40 a pound. That's a quarter pound for $10. So $40 a pound. Actually right here, they got a little bit more, right? This one is about $52 a pound. So somewhere in between $40, $50 a pound. You see what I'm saying? This stuff start adding up. A lot of people making a lot of money. They didn't want me to discount this stuff like this for y'all. And y'all thinking that I'm making a lot of money, but y'all not understanding what this is. See, look, most people, some of these names I'm typing in right here, y'all might not even ever heard of these. These are the real. Look, you see where it's coming up? Look, herbs of Mexico, right? I'm showing you the real deal. Look. Right? I'm showing you the real deal. What's the price? Let's see what the price is. Wow. So 3 ounces is $10. Right? So you're looking at trying to tell you, ain't none of this stuff, they ain't playing with nobody. So when I say $35 a pound average, that's lowball, because here's another $40 to $50, you know. No, this is cut and sifted dandelion. What is this? What kind of promotion for Maca is this? Anyway, so we got it. It's about $40, $50 a pound. Okay. These, like I said, it's a lot of people that's like, yo, a lot of these herbs wasn't being made available to people. And if they was hard to find and expensive. All right, so it looks like it's about $30 a pound. Let's see how much. Oh, that's 50 grams. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's $12 for 1 ounce. Okay, so how much is that again? $12 an ounce? Let's just round that down. $10 an ounce. Let's round that up to 2 ounces and round the price down. $5 an ounce. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like at $5 an ounce. They did not want me to put this all in one compound and make this easy for you to get. Because again, some people don't even, as I'm flashing, people probably at home saying, yo, break it down. What does each one do? What does it? That'll have to be another day. We have to, I'm just trying to show right now. I'm just showing you like what you got. And we only priced a handful. Right? We only priced a handful. It's a lot of people making a lot of money. We only priced a handful. Let's see what this here looking like. The Palo Guaco. Yep, another one. Same thing, 3 ounces. So this is another $40, $50 bag. They did not want me to give you. So now think about this. $40 or $50 for a pound. You get the Blue Magic. You got all these things all in one serving to the right amount that you're supposed to get. Already. You don't need to buy 30 different products. You got one that you can actually use and take every day and give your pets and give your children. That this is beyond this. Y'all didn't understand how far ahead we was. Y'all didn't really understand how far ahead we was. And then things like this that y'all may not even be aware of, right? I add this in myself. Now look how much this costs. £1 pound, $4,000. £1 pound, $4,000. You don't really understand what you got when you get in that Blue Magic like that. When you get in that purple phase, you know what I'm saying? When you like the ocean steak, I'm trying to explain something to you. So there's people there's a reason why they trying to act like we don't exist with what we're doing. it's because even the holistic folks, even the healers, they like, nah, bro, you getting ready to. They having other debates behind the scenes, debates that you, the customer, is not privy to. They having debates behind the scenes like, what sense do it make if we heal everybody if we don't get nothing out of it? Wow. I'm like, yo, you know, y'all sound like the pharmaceutical companies. They're like, yo, what sense if we just give everybody all this is, you know, like we give them all the information. Like, I'm like, yo, you know, y'all sound like them people. Just saying, man, it's a lot going on.
1,000 times, people. Just because it's purple does not mean it's Chondrus crispus. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just because it's purple does not mean it's Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't mean that it has the same nutrients as Chondrus crispus. I need y'all to understand that. That's why I'm showing you Chondrus crispus versus these other purple mosses that they're gathering from the Caribbean. They don't even come from the cold water climate regions that Chondrus grows in. Okay, these are not Chondrus crispus. They are not Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't matter who tries to sell you these. Whoever is trying to sell you these is trying to make a fast buck. These are not Dr. Sebi approved, and they are not Chondrus crispus. Oh God, do the math. Here's the elephant in the room. I detailed in the Soul Craft documentary, chapter 4, and in the Eat Right book, each mitochondria produced the full spectrum of life. Do the math real quick, God. 30 trillion cells in the human body on average. Each of those cells have 1,500 mitochondria in them. That 1,500 take up 1/4 the space in each cell. The cells in the heart and brain are almost double. Each cell in your body, except the heart and brain, require 10 billion ATP per day. The math is crazy, but the universe is orderly. So the simple solution is for your basal metabolic rate. You need your weight in ATP every day. Yep. If you are 200 pounds, then you need 200 pounds worth of ATP every day. And if you don't exercise, that means that you need less. Yes, people who exercise need more. If you exercise, you need anywhere from 25 to 50% more ATP production. The average person runs on a steady 4 to 5 watts of electricity. That's about 1,200 watts a day. Yes, 1,200. The daily ATP, like light, cannot be stored. It takes about 120,000 heartbeats a day to match the 24,000 breaths to create 144 gallons of O2 you need every day. That's real 120. Stores sodium. The darker you are, the more salt your body will store. Now, the problem is you're not getting enough vitamin K, not enough potassium, definitely not enough water, nowhere near enough iodine. Basically, you're deficient on your blue magic sea moss gel for your heart health. And if you smoke weed, it makes it worse because weed smoke taxes the adrenal glands if you're not getting enough water-based greens in your diet. So you're going to start to crave sodium so that your body can store more water. The only problem with that is, in order for that to happen, your liver has to make more urea. If your liver starts to make more urea for your body to store more water via the kidneys, then your body's going to have to pull nitrogen from your muscles. So it's going to produce more follistatin, more estrogen, as well as breaking down your muscle tissue. Not to mention, you're going to have a high sugar drive because your liver is going to need more ATP. So your liver would need more ATP and more nitrogen that it'll pull from your muscles in order to process the sugar, leading to many of the problems associated with Black people's health overall. This is because we haven't got enough blue magic sea moss gel in our diet. Music is God. Never raw. Whether it's Irish moss or sea moss, whether it's from the north, whether it's from the south, whether it's from the Caribbean, you do not get the main nutrition from raw moss. Number one. Number two, raw moss can be very dangerous and damaging to your gastrointestinal tract. Number three, the amount of consumed raw algae is way too high for the human digestive system to have it raw. Number four, high quality standards when getting the actual moss. Many people suggest soaking the moss for hours and hours and hours, even overnight, then throwing the water away and then washing it again, not realizing that you lose 99% of the iodine and the rest of the minerals when you do that. Please only get
Blue Magic Gel,
Thumbs
Blue
up.
Magic Powder.
Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Subscribe to the platform. Subscribe to every platform. Become a member of everywhere you find MDR News. All right, this is our young podcast is growing. We need your financial support. We need your mental support, spiritual, energetic. So hopefully we're getting it, right? Like when I talked about benfotiamine or vitamin B1, right? I have so many people hitting me up like, yo, you don't know what you did. Like, and I'm saying to myself, this is beautiful, but you do know, like, I don't make money off Amazon or wherever you buying your, like when I send people to get these things or items, whatever, like I don't benefit from people buying vitamin B1. Like that's just what you get as a person who invests or buys the products or becomes a patron. That's what you're paying for. That's the why you're supporting. So I can find this stuff out and come share it, you know. Yeah, that's got to be incorporated into the protocol. Like we know the basic 13 and 7, you know, the morning light, you know, we're going to have to create a holiday protocol where we go, you know, pigment, fiber, right? Because we know pigment, light, fiber, water, right? But do we know fiber, sugar, fat, insulin? Fiber lowers sugar, fats lower insulin. So you didn't know maybe that you needed the omegas to reduce the insulin, but that's why as a part of our basic protocol, when you get the book, Eat Right for Your Haplotype, as a part of the basic protocol, omega-3s are there because just healthy fats alone help to reduce, you know, metabolize your body's insulin. So cheat codes, things you need to know going into the holiday, because if it's not your blood sugar and pressure going up, it's going to be somebody to the left or to the right of you. You know what I'm saying? Like church, somebody say, turn to the right and tell somebody your blood sugar going to go up. Now turn to the left and tell somebody your blood pressure going to go up. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that you kind of need to know. And so anyway, you know, just understanding the value, you know, we went through maybe 5 or 6 herbs. This 30, you know, top 27 from Dr. Sebi, most rare and expensive, high quality potency, specifically geared to immunity, antibodies and bone marrow. That's kind of what my focus was, bone marrow. Bone marrow is where the pigment nucleus is, like the regeneration. The bone marrow is all pigment. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the nucleus of regeneration in your body is the bone marrow. And as far as I'm concerned, since I'm the only one, especially in the holistic universe, that puts any emphasis on bone marrow, I know that this is drastically understood and undervalued. You know, the pandemic helped to drive some attention to what I've been screaming all these years, but pandemic's down, fear is down, people are, because the source of antibodies where everybody was going crazy for antibodies, and bone marrow. So anyway, that's why we had this incredible value. I know we still got Farrakhan and Kyrie coming out the closet. We still got Farrakhan and Kyrie coming out the closet coming up. There's so much stuff going on. Trying to find all of the stories that we have for you guys. What is this? Okay, I think this is it right here. Oh, wow. Okay, this is not edited. You're gonna have to give me a second to edit this, family.
Nobody's telling us anything. Is Bestie gonna be okay? Nurse, we demand to know how our Bestie is doing.
I'm sorry, bro. I told you I don't have the information yet.
Bro, seriously? I'm so pressed right now, bro.
Don't be pressed. The doctor will be in shortly, bro. Dead ass.
Why not give Mother Nature and God the opportunity to restore your health? We start with our own real Chondrous crispers to create blue magic powder as well as the blue magic gel. It's not possible that the capsules and powders that you are buying are even close. Seeing is believing. Why not give Mother Nature and God the opportunity to restore your health? We start with our own real Chondrous crispers to create blue magic powder as well as the blue magic gel. It's not possible that the capsules and powders that you are buying are even close. Seeing is believing. All major differences from the fake omega-3s at 13:1 ratio to omega-6. This is all real, fresh out of the ocean. Music is God. And algae is the cornerstone of life.
Magnetism shaped into bodies which became animated by resonance and planetary electricity. Earth is a giant electric piano with keys that play 88 times a second, giving us the global 808s we call true resonance. This is the God you were born in the image and likeness of. The planetary body, the cell body. You are a planetary enzyme. God is music.
High in arginine, and it may cause herpes outbreaks. Yes, it may cause herpes outbreaks, although it is highly recommended by Dr. Ali Muhammad as being more nutritious than Chondrous crispers. I want to bring your attention to the left-hand side where you can look at Gracilaria up close and personal, and then look right there in the center of your screen where you can see Chondrous crispers. Completely different color, completely different structure. The entire frame of the algae is completely different, yet this Gracilaria is passed off as Dr. Sebi approved Chondrous crispers 100 times a day. Help this scam come to an end by supporting Blue Magic Gel and Blue Magic Powder, the only true Chondrous crispers-based sea moss compounds on the market.
Three things that sugar does that these other foodstuffs don't. Liver fat, cell aging, interfering with your brain's functioning to regulate how much to eat. That makes it toxic. The food industry has been upping and upping the dose over the past century, and in particular in the past 30 years. And they found that when they did that, we bought more. So this is their juggernaut. This is how they're making money. And they don't want to stop. And they won't stop until they are remanded to stop. The question is, who's going to remand them? That's a question for debate.
How is it that people are still lagging behind in terms of their understanding of the disease-causing effect of sugar?
What they've been told, what they've been sold for the last 40 years is a bill of goods that has been designed specifically to make money for the food industry and to hurt them. It's time to change the paradigm. There are 3 things that sugar does that these other foodstuffs don't.
So I want you guys to understand that this is not a this is a world crisis. It's a brown, black, Latino people. We need our own alphabet. BBLs, I think BBW, brown, black, Latino. BBL. I don't know, that might grow on us. BBLs, brown, black, Latino. That might be a vibe. BBLs need to be hyper vigilant on diabetes and fatty liver syndrome, though, because of the rate at which it's affecting us. It's a worldwide problem in a variety of ways. If we could just institute these protocols for diabetes, we could save the nation billions of dollars in diabetic food, shopping, emergencies, medication. See, these ideas don't sit well with everybody, right? You understand that. You understand when I say the pharmaceutical companies don't want the little guys to come in with these herbs and heal you or help you to heal yourself more accurately, more honestly. You understand when I say the pharmaceutical companies don't want that to happen because they're going to lose money. They don't have a vested interest. But it's hard for you to swallow the idea of the healers, the naturopaths, the holistic family that you hiding information from you from the same reason. Because they can sell you 10 products. They can sell you 20 products. They can sell you 5 kits for $1,000, $1,500 a month, $800 a month. They can sell you these kits, holistic herb, Dr. Sebi, they can sell you these items at $500, $1,000, $1,500 and put you on these pay plans. Versus you coming to get the sea moss that might be $60, $50, $40. One jar. Because see, what you're doing in your mind is you might be putting that one jar of blue magic up against another jar of yellows. Don't do that. You got to put a blue magic up against a whole $1,500, $5,000 herbal kit that these folks are selling, because that's what you're getting with Blue Magic Gel. And this is one of the reasons why they don't discuss the article. They won't discuss the documentary, and they're definitely not talking about the gel because they don't want you to understand. They're scared. They're trying to reproduce it. They're scared. This Blue Magic Gel is revolutionizing the holistic industry. Now it's approved for you to be able to put this in your cat food, your dog food, mix this into your kids' breakfast. Like, this Blue Magic Gel is something. It's a monster. Think about all of these herbs that I showed you that's $40 a pound that you can't even feed your kids. You can't get your kids to have these bitter herbs. But you could easily take the blue magic gel and mix it into their oatmeal or their cereal or whatever. I'm trying to tell you folks. I'm trying to tell you folks. Listen, this is not, I'm just the first person to pioneer this. And this is me, the first person to pioneer this. So this ain't Dr. Africa, Dr. Sebi. This is me and you as my supporter, as my student, my follower, my family member, my friend, my investor. Right? You gotta understand this is where we at. Look, don't think this is a game. This is not a game. Look, they putting billions into this. They putting billions into this. Make no mistake. This is not a game. It's just I'm the first person to find the plant-based analogs. And not only find the plant-based analogs, but be uniquely in a position to start to get effective results from immediate application. So this is not something we have to wander. This is the American Healer documentary centered around demonstrating these results. Like, hey, the science is out here. This is not some guy with gold teeth on YouTube making this up. We are in the future. We are in the future. The time is now. This is not you. We are here. Genius lives matter. Okay. All right. I know. Y'all like, let's just hear about Kyrie coming out the closet. We just want to hear about Kyrie coming out the closet, dog. What you said, Kyrie came out the closet? What is this coming out the closet talk? Clearly it's not clickbait. If it was clickbait, it would be in the title of the video.
When I say dark-skinned people are built different, I mean dark-skinned people are built different, starting with the heart. The studies are showing now that the darker your skin, the darker your skin pigment, literally, the deeper the pigmentation in the heart and the primary organs in your body, meaning that your organs even function different in the presence of sound. Yes, the presence of sound. And this is the reason why the obelisk in Egypt may have a biological function that goes beyond, yes, goes beyond just the decorative religious nuances that we have ascribed to them thus far. Music is God. Did you know that the top diabetes medications all have as a side effect, wait for it, yep, diabetes. Yeah, in a New York minute, you might want to start slowing these down, pausing them, and extrapolating all of the information from these short little in a New York minute clips. But these are jam-packed with videos, so go ahead, do yourself a favor and research. Look up each one of these top medicines, these medications that are prescribed hundreds of thousands of times a day around the world for diabetes, and you'll notice something that they all have in common. They all have as a side effect, they increase your risk for type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and stroke. I cannot make this up. Remember, go to drinky.com and refresh the payment screen so that you can get your Harmony-based purple phase and blue magic. Peace to the family. Truth is, dogs do, can, and will bring parasites, bacteria, viruses into your home and probably transfer those to you and your children. The upside to that is very important. Pay attention. Your dog may be the single biggest boost to your immune system. And for the price of a dog versus how they benefit your immune system and your emotional well-being, a dog may be the cheapest, most inexpensive way to completely transform your whole entire household's immunity for the better. Yes, for the better. Studies show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Tonics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com, and don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God.
Okay. Kyrie Irving officially came out of the closet. And not only did Kyrie Irving officially come out of the closet, I think it makes him the most influential basketball player, possibly even more influential than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Allen Iverson. Kyrie Irving coming out of the closet the way he did may cause Kareem, who some consider to be the GOAT, to take 2 L's this year. His all-time NBA status as the all-time leading activist, as well as his all-time scoring record. In fact, the all-time NBA record, quiet as kept, is already owned by LeBron. They just don't count your playoff points until your regular season score passes the regular season record and But if they add in playoff points, LeBron already has the most ever. But yeah, so Kareem's getting ready to take 2 L's this year. Kyrie coming out the closet and LeBron taking the scoring title. Now, some of y'all this may be your first broadcast of MDR News. You're like, coming out the closet. Wait, what does that mean? Okay. We had a conversation where we spoke about Black culture, urban culture, not necessarily being friendly to the smart guys, the people who like to read, the bookworms, the nerds, the geeks, and people having to keep their intellectual side in order to keep that masculine energy or their hood pass or their street credibility up. They keep their intelligent side in the closet, their intellectual side in the closet. They kept their smartness hidden. They still do it to this day. We speak beneath our vocabulary level because we don't want nobody to know how smart we are. We don't want to, and it goes all the way back even to post-slavery where, if you had smart children or smart boys, they might be, even in schools, the kids got weeded out and a lot of stuff went on. So parents protected smarter than average Black children by denying their, in some instances, you know what I'm saying? But in some other instances, just neighborhood rules. Like you didn't want to be the smart kid. You didn't want to be the kid reading the book. Like that was like an insult. Like, yo, I saw him reading the book. No, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah. So that's what I meant with that conversation. And that is what Kyrie Irving just did. And I believe Kyrie Irving has officially changed the world. I don't think that Kyrie Irving has to do another thing besides play basketball. Right now, at this point, Kyrie Irving can actually shut up and dribble. Right now, Kyrie Irving can shut up and just dribble. Because Kyrie Irving has already changed the world. In the same way that Allen Iverson refusing to conform and wearing his hairstyles, wearing his clothes, dressing the way, you know, putting the drip on display. Like, yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this is how I live. I want to be free. I want to feel free. Allen Iverson was that precursor. I would say Kareem even, you know, I wanted to be free to express my religious and philosophical views. Allen Iverson, I want to be free to dress the way I want to dress. I want to wear my hair the way I want to wear my hair. I just want to be free to do that. Now, here's Kyrie, as I want to be able to be a man. I want to be able to think and philosophize as I please. I get it. You know, I don't want to come across as anti-Semitic to people, but if you know what I know, it's not really possible for me to do that, but I get it. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anybody's business, whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, as me, Kyrie, you know, and the world went crazy and didn't realize that in the process of protecting their rights, the white Jewish people, we even have to make this distinction, white Jews, but the white Jewish people, quote unquote, in protecting their rights respectfully, because they should feel offended and they're not wrong. These are one of those situations where two sides can be right and it gets crazy, it gets complicated. But you're robbing Kyrie Irving of his right to his free speech, his right to have his freedom of belief. If you're a white person and you want to believe that your family is one of the original 12 tribes of Israel and you have the freedom to do that, you can't edit a black person for saying, yo, I believe that the 12 tribes is black folks. And when you say that, you're, as a white person, when you say you believe you one of the 12 tribes, you are saying you believe one of the 12 tribes or all of the 12 tribes were white. Because clearly, if your family is in there and you're white, then there must have been white tribes. It's no different than saying, oh, well, I believe the tribes were black. Okay. You believe the tribes are black? Okay, well, that's your religious, boo. Okay, boom. All right. I can't intrude on that. I can't impede on that. I can't make you apologize for thinking it. Like, no. At the same as you don't want somebody to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so. I think Kyrie has done something. He's done it. It cannot undo. He has taken the stand, draw the line in the stand, and that's it now. It's done. The movie's out there. His stance is out. It's done. It can't be undone. With a million apologies, it can't be undone. It's done. And now, no matter what, and I'm still with LeBron, period. We LeBron'd out over here. But now we with Kyrie right now. This goes beyond sneakers. But even with the other guys, don't be confused and think that everything you hear and see is what it really is. LeBron has to say what LeBron needs to say, woo, but I'm sure in LeBron privacy of his home, he's proud for Kyrie for possibly changing the game forever. Because you don't have to agree with a guy's free speech to be proud of him securing your possible children free, because LeBron is raising his children up to be NBA players. Duh. Bronny, blah, 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 blah. Right? Bronny and Bryce are going to be affected by the changes that Kyrie makes. And if they want to grow up in the NBA as NBA stars and say, hey, we're Buddhists and we think that the first Buddhist philosophers was black guys, and now we on this and we eat like this and we dressing weird and we think the earth is diamond. As long as they show up, they keep it clean, they don't go to jail, they play the game, they do the right things on the court, off the court. I remember, let's keep it a buck. Like, let's stop playing, man. We don't remember all them NBA players doing coke and crack. Y'all don't remember the NBA players overdosing on drugs and all that? Kyrie is just talking about his philosophical, like, this is not that serious. Like, Kyrie, we're misconstruing, oh, he didn't get the vaccine. Listen, I was mad at him for not getting the vaccine. And I'm with him with the information. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, as an NBA fan, it's like, hold on though. But it's okay to be angry or disagree, but we got to be still clear and truthful and honest and righteous with ourselves. Kyrie ain't really doing nothing. He ain't smuggling nothing. He ain't biting son. He ain't got crack. He ain't causing inflation for the planet. You know, he ain't tripled like detergent, gas price. Kyrie ain't, but his stance is going to make it okay for these guys to be seen as less of property. Because what you don't understand is that athletes are viewed as property, and they sign contracts that are very cleverly worded that says pretty much so that they're property. And this is the thing that this is another thing where Ye is at. Like, hey, let's compare the athletes' contracts to the entertainers, and let's really talk about what's going on. And like I said, I'm just in a reflexive space where I could think about both sides of each argument, because I could see what Ye's saying, but on the flip side, as a person struggling day to day, I'm like, bruh, are you saying that the contracts you signed is bad because they paid you 11 billion and they should have gave you 14 billion? I don't even know what you're saying right now, because clearly the contracts were so bad that signing lots of them led you to become a billionaire. I don't know what you're saying. Stay in 9 to 5 or just keep selling crack. Yeah, like there's a space where you can go, wait, don't sign the contracts, just keep selling crack and go get you a 9 to, or go get a 9 to 5. Like, so I'm saying I get all the sides. And I understand the overarching importance, so that's why it's important to highlight in the chaos of truths. That's what this really comes down to. And that's what makes things harder to understand and more interesting. And then more information gets added to the internet smog. There are truths on both sides. And even there are people involved that are not involved, right? Because where is everybody else? Where are the regular white folks? Right? Because if you think about this, the Germans definitely tried to exterminate the Jewish people and the black people. So how come the Jewish people are now not angry with the Germans and the black folks are now not angry with the Germans and they're angry with each other? See, there's even another level of this where you can go, wait, is this a Jedi mind trick to get the Jews and the blacks to go to war with each other? Because technically, the Jewish people are creating lots of black billionaires and millionaires. I don't know of any multi-hundred millionaire black folks or billionaires that didn't do it with these same white Jewish folks and contracts. So maybe third party, right? Have we ever thought of that? Maybe a third party has a vested interest to say, hey, wait a minute, let's stop these white Jewish folks from returning all that wealth to these black folks. Like, let's get them going. You know what I'm saying? So right? Because at the center of this is Adidas. Don't forget, don't take your eyes off this ball. The center of this is Adidas. Adidas started all this. And Adidas got now the white Jewish folks, the black Hebrew, like, and Adidas done, they done threw their rock and hit their hand now. Now they back like this. Now they like blending into the audience. Like they done shot JFK and now they blended into the audience. Like, oh my God, what happened? No, somebody seen you. I seen you. You threw the rock and you trying to, I seen you. I seen you. You involved. Don't think you that slick where you just now the white Jewish folks and the black folks getting ready to no. So I'm going to advise folks right now, Jewish folks, yes, it is true. You've been making zillions of dollars off of black ingenuity, creativity, labor, etc. You know what I'm gonna say? Don't fuck the bag up. Black folks, by hook or by crook, clearly some of these contracts, some of these Jewish executives are on your side. Even if it's for selfish purposes, even if it's because they make $1 billion every time you make $1 million, that still means they want you to make millions because that makes them billion. Like they still have a vested interest in you winning. Let's not allow somebody who only has a vested interest in us losing to skew the big picture here. You know what I'm saying? Because Jay-Z is empowered dealing with these same contracts. Ye is empowered dealing with these same contracts. Kyrie, he's taking a stance, but remember, he's not John Q 9-to-5er. He's already got hundreds of millions of dollars from these very same contracts. Like, so, we might need to chill and get us a few $100 million off the contracts. And then we could say, man, fuck all this, I'm tired of this. So it's a different type of, you got responsibilities, you got mouths to feed, bills to pay. I'm just saying, I think this is a very important, yeah.
Let's review a lovely story of genocide that seems to start at, just about 1863 when you look at this diabetes death chart. What you'll begin to understand is that Christopher Columbus, like I said, was the plug for the white gold, which still runs the world today and is the #1 cause of Black genocide around the world. No amount of gangbanging, medical apartheid, or anything else could amount to the death toll on brown and Black people the world over by sugar. God is music. From the Eat Right for Your Haplotype book, here's a look at our basic protocol outside of the purple phase and the blue magic sea moss gel and the powder. We want people to focus their diet around magnesium, vitamin C, chromium, glutathione, selenium levels for key reasons. Magnesium regulates insulin uptake, very crucial in the fight of diabetes. Essential fatty acids help get rid of simple sugars and starches and allow for CO2 to break down glycation. Vitamin C for connective tissue. Just a plethora of key nutrients all the way down to uracilic acid being able to break down white adipose tissue and help feed the brown adipose tissue. Very, very key in the regulation of metabolism. Music is God. Studies show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children, to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Atomics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com. And don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God.
You may not realize it, but giving your children sugar, giving them access to sugar is very important all year round, but none more important than this time. Pay attention to the fact that sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine by some studies. Pay attention to the connection between heroin use and sugar cravings. Ask yourself, how is it that they activate the same areas of the brain? Ask yourself, if the daily limit is 36 grams of sugar for a man, how is it that the average meal has over 100 grams? The average meal, the average smoothie, the average cup of milk is almost the entire daily limit of sugar. Christopher Columbus is the first man to bring sugar plants to America. Christopher Columbus is the plug for the greatest drug in circulation today. Music is God.
Okay. Okay, now I got to look at my computer a little bit more so we can review some of these points from Farrakhan. So the first question, or the overall questions, these are what I want you guys to think of as we go through. Is Farrakhan anti-Semitic? Does Farrakhan qualify to speak on these matters after his personal history? And when I say his personal history, I mean Khalid Muhammad, you know, the whole Khalid Muhammad history, right? The recent picture with him, you know, giving a kiss to a rabbi, or intimate handshake, or, you know, whatever, international greeting. With all those things, right? Because a lot of times from the public, especially when you don't understand what it takes to run a movement, sacrifice, you can't, you think everything you see is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand sometimes you got to do something, you know, just to, but these are still questions by the people, maybe not from me, but by the people, right? Is Farrakhan even qualified to speak on Kyrie or Ye or anti-Semitism? You know, now that he has allowed for Scientology to be a part of the NOI, does he have the credibility to speak on this situation? He has a mixed family. He has white grandchildren, and I think maybe even not children, white grandchildren. Is he qualified to speak on this conversation? So, actually, you know what you got to do? Because I was thinking I was gonna like record it this morning and play little clip, but I was like, you know what? No. Regardless to whether you agree with Farrakhan or not, Farrakhan is definitely an OG. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with all his moves or not, he's been putting it on the front line for the people for a long time. So at least some degree of respect he's due. So I was like, no, I'm just going to direct people to go support that, go listen to that, go hear that. You know what I'm saying? Get that impact yourself, right? And decide. I just want to create the conversation and have the, you know, some points. If you haven't seen it though, I want to also create awareness so you can go check it out, right? Very strong point that Farrakhan made. He said, to the media, to the white Jewish community, to anybody who's attacking Kyrie Irving right now, you don't have the right to talk to Kyrie Irving alone. I thought that might have been the most powerful. No, I thought it was when I heard it, but it wasn't. He said something else that was more, it was more inspiring, awe-inspiring than even that. But that hit, because that was, hey, you guys are grouping up as a group on Kyrie, saying don't group you together, but you guys are grouping together on Kyrie. How can you say don't group us together as you guys are grouped up together to attack? You've grouped up, like. So that I thought that was a very profound statement for him to just make. Like, you don't have the right to talk to Kyrie by himself. He said the ADL, you know, if you're going to hold Kyrie to this type of level of scrutiny, what about atoning for your past sins towards Black folks, you know, as an organization or even as a people? You know, hold yourselves to that level of scrutiny before you hold Kyrie to that level of scrutiny. Farrakhan also said the ADL is ducking him and don't want no smoke, but that's neither here nor there. What else did he say? Oh, here's something that got people going. Now, he did a lot of promoting his books. The secret relationship of Jews and secret relationship of blacks and Jews. I think it's a couple of volumes. I read it back in the days when they came out. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's 2 or 3 of them. It's not one book. It's a couple volumes. But I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I fully understood the books until I heard him speak today. You know, because I felt like the 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler. That's Koestler. The 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler. I thought that book did a better job of articulating just the discussion, the debate, you know, and, you know, some of the preliminary or proliferary or some of the circumstantial, we'll say that, some of the circumstantial, peripheral, that's the word I was looking for, some of the peripheral evidence for the sides of the debate. And the whole Khazar, you know, that whole debate and conversation, right? I thought it was, but in today's talk, Farrakhan said the strategy behind those books was to use all quotes from white Jewish scholars, so that because the books were put out as Nation of Islam books, when the blowback came, which would be expected, they would have to attack their own authors, because the book is not really a written book. It's more of a compilation of different Jewish authors and rabbis. So I guess that was a clever strategy in the universe of debate, art of war, you know. But again, like I said, I think the 13th Tribe does a better job of just straight over the plate articulating the arguments, right? So if you want to get some books, so there's people that was like, yo, he just found a slick way to ride these waves, Farrakhan, and promote his books. That might be true. Or it might be sometimes two things could be true. Sometimes so there's a world where he might have saw an opportunity to promote his books, as well as an opportunity to do some justice and some righteousness. Now, the most inspiring one-liner, it was a mic drop moment. Farrakhan with his old butt. There was a moment. He said, God is sufficient for me. Ooh! When he said that, that just hit different. I'm not gonna lie. So if you're asking me my review, my personal reaction to Farrakhan's Ye and Kyrie, et cetera, Ye Gate. That's what we need to name this. Ye Irving Gate. Something. But I'm gonna say I was inspired. I think he did a really good job. You know what I'm saying? I think he did a really good job. You know, he's still Farrakhan, you know what I'm saying? But I was inspired. I think that everybody should go listen to that. When I heard it, I sent out text to, you know, a few of the people. I was like, yeah, this is something that people need to hear this.
Breaking news. The problem is not sodium. Black people, the problem is not too much sodium. It is not enough potassium. Yes, you heard. It is not enough potassium. The problem is not too much sodium. The problem is not enough potassium. We're supposed to get in 3 times as much potassium as we do sodium. We're getting in 5 times as much sodium as we get in potassium. That is the problem. That is how we're dying. That is how we're saving people with potassium. The new compound at drinky.com. And yes, rest in greatness to my 2 close friends. This is not just a business for me. This is also very personal. On November 24th, this Thanksgiving, we're going in. Music is God.
In pre-diabetics and diabetics, sugar crystallizes porphyrins, aka pigment skeletons, stopping their radiant and electromagnetic function. The glucose and insulin build up in the blood also crystallize fats, proteins, and other molecules creating a sort of icicle called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. AGEs speed up free radical or reactive oxygen species production and quench all of the nitric oxide reserves in the skin that promote circulation. This is how clots form, causing feet, hands to get cut off, as well as the quenching of the intrinsic magnetism of red blood cells. This AGE synthesis destroys collagen in the skin, leading to wrinkles and old faces. The body attempts to produce more melanin to counteract the AGEs, but tyrosine metabolism is also retarded by high blood sugar and insulin levels. The solution: lots of clean, clear water, the highest quality you can afford. Herbal tea with 1 tablespoon of Blue Magic sea moss gel and or powder. This is going to supercharge hydration. This is going to allow your body to flush the tissues of the glucose, the AGEs, the insulin receptors. A true vegan, a true herbivore diet. It's high in potassium. It helps the body clear sodium, clear sugar. Also, it's high in vitamin K. It helps the body metabolize, keep the tissues clear of calcium. Music is God.
Blue Magic. Ready to go.
I'm about to hit the gym. I need buzz this time. Last time it was, hold up, that's my jam. I'm about to turn this up now. I need the walls. This the Grammy with a nominator. $sign Minister Inky. Send me some. Piano is the heart of instruments, airstring percussion, no coincidence. We hear with our mind, not with our ears. That's why here is the here. We affect our peers deeper than chakras. Phantom of the opera, the freak accident that made the gun you was low to start popping your sarcophagus, your flow, hustle 360.
Team Harmine is the group of compounds that we have designed around one of the main alkaloid compounds in plants, Harmine. DIRK1A has been discovered to be the chemical component that blocks the pancreas from regeneration in severe diabetes. Harmine and its associated metabolites are able to block DIRK1, enabling the pancreas to regenerate itself. Team Harmine is the first ever herbal, organic, raw, nutritional-based compound representing the melanin diabetes research of its kind in the world, leading a worldwide revolution in the ending of the threat of diabetes. Team Harmine represents change, true revolution, true sovereignty to the only real estate that will ever matter, the flesh that clothes your spirit. Fight diabetes with Dr. Inky's advanced research. Team Harmine, land, sea, and tree. Genius lives matter. Follow the American Healer YouTube page.
Music is God. Studies show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Tonics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com. And don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God.
Okay, we're getting ready to wrap it up. But I think we got to go to some of these comments before we get out of here, because this video is really
What do you do if you get lost?
Find a big black guy.
You find a big black guy, and what do you tell him?
And that I lost.
That you're lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I find my home.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to tell you?
so this video, like I said, let's look at these comments. We looked at the video. This is the video from the top of the show. So if you're late tuning in, you missed it. It's the very before the intro. First thing, we have Mr. J. Sappho said, Mr. J. Sappho said, they know that we are protectors and most white men do weird shit, in my opinion. And I didn't have to watch the whole video. Hustler Extraordinaire says, this ain't shit. There are plenty of white people in central to southern Illinois that would tell you that they know for a fact that Black people are extraterrestrial gods. And when they tell you what they seen, you won't believe them at all. Okay. Hank or Hefe says to Hustler Extraordinaire, I honestly believe you. NexusBlack.co says, tell me more. Okay, so Hustler Extraordinaire that went into an extraterrestrial Black God conversation, and it looks like, okay, so Big Ram Sun, a lot of white people call the strangest things racist. It don't even be making no sense, LOL. JQ Ashby 007, excuse me. The Caucasian lady teaching her child to get the big Black Negro, yeah, most likely she's racist. I think that's the same concept Kyrie was trying to establish. The white lady teaching her white daughter that Black men are safe. How would she be racist? As a white lady against white men? How does that work? Just feel free to let us know in the comment section, wherever, chat. I got a question for you guys. How does that work? Can a white Jewish person be racist against white Jewish folks? Can Black people be racist against Black folks? Can a white lady be racist against white men? I need y'all to answer that for me. I might be out of the loop. So she only taught her Z Creator. So she only taught her child to look for us for her child's protection and benefit, knowing at the end of the day, if a Black man is caught with a white child, there's a high risk that the Black man could be wrongfully convicted if the mom flips the script. Sounds like a setup. Wow. And Z Creator, I can't really tell, but on her icon, she's either light skin or white skin. Oh no, I'm tripping. She's definitely fully dark skinned and dreads flowing. Sorry, sis. Rich girl always. Nope. Walk away, black man. Let them folks handle their own business. Duke dog to God. Run up on me talking about I'm lost. I'm recording every second and we going straight to the police. Now, see, that's more like reality. Shout out to the Goldmouth team. Goldmouth team said, Mom is right. Black men be right when they show up. Know how to respond. Shyla from the Shyla UW. Without his explanation, I already understood. Miss E228. I agree with this. Miss E228. I hope you're going to 453 West 238th Street to the Vegan Botanica to get your groceries and to get your bitters and mosses. Miss E228. Big Two Trey. I mean, they got data, right? So again, maybe rewind it back, but if not, here's a little bit.
Assault than white people are. Then think about all of the priests at the Catholic Church hid and protected and moved around. All of the pastors that we've recently found out the Southern Baptists were protecting. Think about all of the well-respected white teachers and coaches and scout leaders over the years where people just didn't believe the children.
Okay, so that was that. It's on my IG, Dr. Inky _ Guys, I just started another TikTok today. I got like one viewer or listener, whatever you have. I got one person to watch my little videos. I was kind of excited. I think I have old pages on TikTok though. So if you go find Dr. Inky on TikTok has 3 videos up right now. The same 3 from like MDR News. So if you find a Dr. Inky on TikTok that's not like that, it's either an old one or a fake one. And there are fake ones around. Okay, so yes, people, we're going to do more chakra conversations. Not here. It's too long. We've been going too long already. But you just look up shlokas, right? A shloka is a verse, right? You know what a mantra is already. So you don't need to ask me, are chakras, what's the relationship? Or maybe some people do. The relationship of sound to chakras, because in the first conversation, I was saying how that was fakely ascribed, like the colors, and then they fakely ascribed colors to chakras that's not in the Upanishads. Then from those fake colors that they added, they started to say, oh, well, if this color is red, then red ascribes to these frequencies, and these frequencies ascribe to this feeling, and this feeling ascribe to this zodiac, and this from that and that, all based on a false lie that chakras had different colors. Go study the Upanishads. The whole color freak, all that's fake. None of that's real. That's not real chakra sign. That's all fake. Now, sound, though, is very, very associated with chakras. So that's where it becomes easy for a charlatan to take somebody that really know what they're talking about and mince up their words and make it seem like as if what they're saying is accurate. Like, see, I told you it's sound. No, the red chakra doesn't have the red, oh, let me look on Roy G. Biv, the electromagnetic spectrum. So I just Google red spectrum frequency and it says, oh, this amount of nanometers. Then I say, oh, the chakra is red. No, that's not. No. But sound was absolutely incorporated. In fact, sound created the chakras. They were using sound technology when they were performing the meditations that led to the Upanishads. That's why it's written in verses and mantras. All of these things are lyrics. That's the best way I could put it. All of the Upanishads are lyrics. They're meant as verses, poems, or mantras. So all of them is music. The entire Upanishads is music. And then when you look at the 108 and then the lion Upanishad, the lion, tribes of Judah, lions of Judah, you know, and they try to put the lion face on Egypt and say the lion is the Sphinx. When you go into the hieroglyphs, you don't see lions nowhere. Why would a lion be on the Giza Plateau representing death and rebirth? Why would a lion be sitting on the Giza Plateau representing death and rebirth? And throughout all of the texts, you have a dog representing death and rebirth. Why would that even make sense? Like the science has already showed, okay, the face is not the original work, you know, whether it was forcefully removed or whether it was weathered and rehabilitated. But that's not the original face of the Sphinx. So they're saying, oh, it must be a lion. Look at the body. Sphinx, original lion. No. Inside the tombs there, you have sphinxes, but they all have the head of a dog on it, Anubis. You know, when you look through you don't have lions represented like that. They wasn't that important. I mean, you got Sekhmet and, you know, it's not, you know, but it's not like that. It's Anubis. Anubis is bigger than Osiris. When you look at weighing at a heart ceremony, it's Anubis. Even when you look at resurrection of Osiris, these are the two most important rituals that we have from Kemet. Weighing at a heart ceremony, and you can couple like opening the mouth and all that kind of stuff, but you have weighing at a heart ceremony, and then you have the resurrection of Osiris, which is the story about his body being chopped up and found and blah, blah, blah. Remember, Anubis is the priest presiding over Isis and I think her sister, right, might have been there. But they, you know, and then obviously the soul of Benjadet, you know, but Anubis is the priest facilitating everything. So he's the most important figure there at the weighing of the heart ceremony, which is literally the ritual of all deaths, whether you was important, rich, broke, poor, peasant, whatever, you got to get your heart weighed. So the most important symbol is Anubis, weighing of the heart ceremony. Then the most important actual transformation of life and death story is Osiris. And again, it's Anubis there. Why would they put a monument up to represent life and death as a lion when all they stuff say, you know? So again, now you're like, wait, how we get here from chakras? Because the Lion manuscript has 64 verses. See, there's a significance to omnitheistic approach. I'm not an omnitheist, but I'm more closely aligned with omnitheists than atheists. Atheists, I could sit down and reason with them on the science side. So I get it. I can see where they're coming from. Omnitheists, I can sit down and reason with them on the religious or spiritual conversations. You know what I'm saying? But they can't. Science-based, they get goofy, right? Just like the atheists get goofy when it's time to leave the confines of physics. You know what I'm saying? It gets a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? But omnitheists, they understand at least the fact that there's truth, there's nuggets, there's jewels that we can pull from to improve our lives in all these different spaces. And the reason why I'm just bringing it up again, the Lion manuscript, you know, 64 verses, 64 codons, the DNA, you know, your genetic information, like the I King, E5, like these systems. I just want to go on the record and say that the Rottweiler is the missing dog of Sumer and Egypt. And my evidence is lots of circumstantial evidence. Like, you just saying that because you love them dogs, boy. No, Rottweilers have had a mysterious thing ever since I could remember. This is the most mysterious thing about Rottweilers. Check this out. And no run-of-the-mill breeder can make this. So this is something that's larger than life with Rottweilers. Rottweilers have a pyramid on the bottom of their chin. You can't see it. But purebred Rottweilers all have a pyramid on their chin. Real breeders know about this to look for it. And like judges of dog contests, they know about this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real thing, I promise you. If you know somebody that has a Rottweiler, all you gotta do is go over to their house and lift up the, well, you might not be able to lift up the dog. You know what I mean? They might get you, you know, but if you know somebody with a Rottweiler, ask them to lift up the dog head and see if there's a chin, a triangle or pyramid up under their chin, a big black pyramid up under their chin. If they don't have a clear black pyramid under their chin, then that means the dog is not a purebred, regardless to where they registered at. Right? Regardless to where they registered at. And this is a fact that there are animals that are registered as pure breeds that's not pure breeds. Like JLPP, that, you know, they say, oh, you got to check for JLPP with Rottweilers. And where does it come from? Oh, well, you know, they tried to mix some terriers with some Rotties, so it got into the Rottie bloodlines and, you know, it's circulating. Well, that means if you find JLPP in a Rottweiler that's supposed to be a purebred Rottweiler, clearly it must not be a purebred Rottweiler if it has a disease that it got from a mix with a terrier back in the bloodline somewhere. So remember, you're dealing with percentages and you're dealing with changing science, you know what I'm saying, as well. But purebred Rottweiler, they have this mysterious big black pyramid under their chin. And if your dog is not a purebred, then it's not going to be like a perfect, you know, it'll be like a fuzzy black, or it might just not even be there. Like, you'll lift up the Rottweiler chin and it's just black, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, you know, like, then you know, okay, bad breeding. I know y'all like, this is, if you're making this up, Inky, this is really insane. But if you're not making it up, this is really some crazy thing, especially for people that know about like dog history. Because if you know about Rottweiler's history, you know they history is mysterious. You see Rottweilers, or you see Mastiff types. That's what they do. Mastiff types, Molossus types. That's all they do. But you see them back all the way in Egypt. You see them in Sumer. But they don't give you no specifics. They just go, oh, these are types. You know what I'm saying? This is a... Okay, here's a picture of my dog when my dog was younger, and I'll show you what I mean. What the hell? I'm going to show you what I mean. Now, it's a small picture, but I'm blowing it up, trying so you could try to see it a little bit. But if your dog doesn't have this triangle or this black pyramid, if you got a Rottweiler, that's not really a purebred. And it's not something you will see unless you know to look for it. So all you got to do is get the dog to lay on his back, which, you know, dogs don't lay on their back unless they're super safe and comfortable with you, and you'll see it. Now, also, for the people that might be out there looking to buy a dog, definitely, if you're buying a Rottweiler, you will thank me, because lots of people get ripped off with bad pedigree dogs. Bad pedigree dogs mean the dog pedigree got like a lot of famous names on it, maybe, but the dog is a low quality dog itself. You know, because litters don't come out, every dog is the same. Some dogs in the litter may be amazing, but some may be, you know, require more love and attention than others. We'll say it that way. So yeah, this is not something I'm making up. Just saying. It's just a lot of truth is stranger than fiction, man. Truth is stranger than fiction.
Have you ever thought about what makes sugar so dangerous in your blood? Sugar dissolves, but its bonds don't really break like the term dissolve would lead you to believe. So sugar is able to stay in a solid form while in a liquid form and then coagulate on the pigments and fats throughout the body. The same pigments like neuromelanin and fats like omega-3s that your body requires. This is what puts children at higher risk. Have you ever thought about what a natural and national disaster not having breast milk for babies really is? Music is God.
Always cook, never raw. Whether it's Irish moss or sea moss, whether it's from the north, whether it's from the south, whether it's from the Caribbean, you do not get the main nutrition from raw moss. Number one. Number two, raw moss can be very dangerous and damaging to your gastrointestinal tract. Number three, the amount of consumed raw algae is way too high for the human digestive system to have it raw. Number four, high quality standards when getting the actual moss. Many people suggest soaking the moss for hours and hours and hours, even overnight, then throwing the water away and then washing it again, not realizing that you lose 99% of the iodine and the rest of the minerals when you do that. Please, only get Blue Magic gel or Blue Magic powder. For the 1,000th time, people, just because it's purple does not mean it's Chondrus crispus. Listen to what I'm telling you. Just because it's purple does not mean it's Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't mean that it has the same nutrients as Chondrus crispus. I need y'all to understand that. That's why I'm showing you Chondrus crispus versus these other purple mosses that they're gathering from the Caribbean. They don't even come from the cold water climate regions that Chondrus grows in, okay? These are not Chondrus crispus. They are not Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus. And it doesn't matter who tries to sell you these. Whoever is trying to sell you these is trying to make a fast buck. These are not Dr. Sebi approved, and they are not Chondrus crispus. High in arginine, and it may cause herpes outbreaks. Yes, it may cause herpes outbreaks, although it is highly recommended by Dr. Ali Muhammad as being more nutritious than Chondrus crispus. I want to bring your attention to the left-hand side where you can look at Gracilaria up close and personal, and then look right there in the center of your screen where you can see Chondrus crispus. Completely different color, completely different structure. The entire framework of the algae is completely different, yet this Gracilaria is passed off as Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus 100 times a day. Help this scam come to an end by supporting Blue Magic gel and Blue Magic powder, the only true Chondrus crispus based sea moss compounds on the market. Let's run this back and do this again. I want to show you one of my old favorites, Eucoma cottoni. Cottoni is probably the most popular, along with Guso, but Guso is not really named. Guso is usually sold as cottoni, but these are probably two of the most popular sea mosses that are never, ever even named when they're sold. They're just sold as fraudulent Dr. Sebi approved Irish moss or Dr. Sebi approved Chondrus crispus, and that's fake.
Okay, so you can look right there. Again, you see another variety of yellow algae, which means it's been oxidized so that all of the nutrients are gone. And you see the Chondrus crispus there in the front. Seeing is believing. Only support Blue Magic, gel and powder. Thank you.
You can easily just click on the drop-down menu there, hit courses, then my courses, then the real you, and you should be off and running. We cannot wait. We cannot wait to get your feedback. And if you enjoy the course, please feel free to go ahead and send us a Cash App at $Minister or if you have a larger amount of money you want to donate, feel free to go ahead and contact us via email melanin versus diabetes@gmail.com, and we can accept that larger, size donation via the nonprofit organization. Again, we can't wait for your feedback. And then also, if you enjoy the course, there's going to be a much more interactive course coming called American Healer, the Diabetes course, and then following that, the Living Biochemistry course, which is a collegiate level 69-week course. Those are going to be more extensive. And to do those courses, you'll actually have to be a member of Patreon. However, to do the first 3 public courses to build up the foundation. Like, we took a poll, it took time. We took a couple of years to poll the public and see what it was that the public, like the basic things that the public wanted to know, wanted more information on. What did families need, like, to, so we put those things together, just very simple but informative, to provide a foundation. We think we did a very good job of providing people a foundation to build from. So hopefully this gave you a good tutorial. If not, you probably have to, this is the beta edition tutorial, so I may have to improve on this as well. But peace, thank you for your interest, thank you for your trust, and I wish you love, and I wish you life. All right, peace. So quickly, just find the only thing that probably will be confusing is that you might try to log in on a phone or a tablet. We don't have that tech yet, so it doesn't work on phones and tablets. You gotta be on a desktop or a laptop.
Live in a hater nation. Everybody want to hate. This brother's trying to do something different and be great at it. Why the fuck are we sitting there waiting for him to fail? Live in a hate.
Blue Magic, ready to go.
I'm about to hit the gym, I need buzz this time. Last time it was, hold up, that's my jam. I'm about to turn this up now, I need the walls to, this the Grammy winner, nominate the $Minister Inky, send me some. Piano is the heart of instruments, airstring percussion, no coincidence. We hear with our mind, not with our ears. That's why here is the here. We affect our peers deeper than chakras. Phantom of the opera, the freak accident that made the gun you was loaded, start popping your sarcophagus, your flow, hustle 360.
Team Harmine is the group of compounds that we have designed around one of the main alkaloid compounds in plants, Harmine. DIRK1A has been discovered to be the chemical component that blocks the pancreas from regeneration in severe diabetes. Harmine and its associated metabolites are able to block DIRK1, enabling the pancreas to regenerate itself. Team Harmine is the first ever herbal, organic, raw, nutritional-based compound representing the melanin diabetes research of its kind in the world, leading a worldwide revolution in the ending of the threat
of diabetes. Team Harmony represents change, true revolution, true sovereignty to the only real estate that will ever matter, the flesh that clothes your spirit. Fight diabetes with Dr. Inky's advanced research. Team Harmony, land, sea, and tree. Genius lives matter. Follow the American Healer YouTube page. Music is God.
Studies show that your pets in their earliest years are just as vulnerable nutrition-wise as your children. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic makes that much easier. Mama Tonics and Blue Magic can easily be put into juices, salads, soups, sauces, oatmeal, breakfast cereal, a variety of meals to hide the love that you're giving to your pets and your children to make sure they have the utmost nutrition. And when you support Mama Tonics and Blue Magic, you're supporting domestic violence survivors, single fathers, and Black business. DrInky.com. And don't forget to refresh the payment screen. Music is God.
Dr. Inky, American Healer, Intelligent Diabetes Research News, coming to you live from anywhere, everywhere, anytime, all the time, because any minute could be a New York minute. And in a New York minute, your whole life can change. We need to talk about the things that's most important to us. We need to talk about the life change, the paradigm shift ending, the trend creating. We need to talk about the revolution. We need a space where we get to say what we want to say, how we want to say, when we want to say, without apologizing for what's been said. Period. This is our time. We're coming back into our path, that space, in real time.